RJ, one half of the Dysfunctional Podcast. Ever since I was a little boy, I've wanted to be a celebrity chef. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So after starting a podcast with my husband Adam, I've decided that while we're in quarantine, what better time than now to show you how we bring the magic of the theme parks into our own home. I'm taking some of my favorite park foods and recipes and adapting them for my kitchen. The D Podcast presents Food Rocks! Ta-da! Aloha! Mahalo, aloha, oahu, hi. This is RJ with another episode of Food Rocks. Today, we are so excited, and by we, I mean me am so excited to show you the latest thing that I've come up in my kitchen. It is the Thai Coconut Meatballs from Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. They serve this at Captain Cook's restaurant. It's the quick service downstairs next to Trader Sam's. Not verified, but in a past life, I may have been a wayward skipper who was not good enough to be in the Jungle Cruise and had to work at Trader Sam's. Maybe, I don't know. I just have a feeling that could have been a past life of mine. I remember it fondly. Adam and I go to Polly all the time when we were allowed to leave the house. Our go-to was to get a drink at Trader Sam's patio bar, a spiky pineapple for Adam, and a dark and stormy for me. And then we would just chill out. And if it was at night, we would watch Wishes, R.I.P. When Adam and I were there eating at Captain Cook's, and this man was holding like 2 drinks that walked by us, and he's like, he like accidentally bumped into us, and he was like, "Oh, excuse me, gentlemen," and then just kept walking. And then we kept walking towards the lobby, and we were both like, "That was Tim Allen." Adam was like, "What?" He was like, "That was Tim Allen." A lot grayer in the hair, but that was definitely Tim Allen. Now I can say that I accidentally bumped into Tim Allen, and he said, "Excuse me." So, you know, celebrities are people, you guys. Lauren at Princess Party of One on Instagram was like, "Here's a recipe that I have used to make these Thai coconut meatballs." So I printed it out and made it myself, and I did some modifications with like measuring and stuff. So you'll be able to see that today. But when I made it, it was very successful. It was a hit. Hope you enjoy the Thai coconut meatballs as I did, because it was so much fun to make. You will see that it's a lot cleaner and a lot neater than our previous episodes, which I always love. Less cleaning for me. Hey, you over there, wake up. It's Joe time. Ugh, I didn't like how that sounded. All right, let's get into this. We are making the meatballs first. We're using 80-20 ground beef here, about a pound. And I'm adding 2 eggs to it and breadcrumbs. I kind of just eyeball this. That's probably like a cup of breadcrumbs. This is the special ingredient, garlic chili sauce. I had to go to World Market to find it. I used about 2 tablespoons of it. And this is where I should have added salt and pepper, but I didn't because I thought that the sauce will be salty enough. Listeners, it's not. You will need salt and pepper in your meatballs. Salt and pepper everything. Season everything. Now, this made about 13 meatballs. Wait, let me do the math in my head. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why did I say 13? This will make about 11 meatballs, and, you kind of shape them to the palm of your hand, like so. That's a good size. I was right. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I was right. You are going to cook this in a 350-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until that temperature of the meatball is about 155 degrees. So, while that's cooking, I'm going to start on our coconut cream sauce. I'm using 2 medium-sized cans of diced tomatoes here. Make sure you drain the sauce in the water first. To that, I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. If you want it sweeter, you can add a little bit more later on. That's kind of what I did. In the later step, I kind of added more sugar to taste. I am using 2 cups of chicken stock here. This is fresh chicken stock that I made from the bones of a roast chicken that I did on Sunday because I roast chickens like I'm 43 years old. Anyway, we are going to add to this lemon juice and lime juice, about 2 tablespoons each, and then you're just gonna let it boil first and then simmer down so that you can start reducing that liquid. On the other pot over here, I started making rice because I'm Filipino and I know how to make rice. It's almost like a birthright to make rice. So I made 2 cups of jasmine rice next to my sauce. So as you see, it's starting to boil. I kind of left it on medium-high just so I can get more of that reduction. It's really soupy right now, but you'll see later on that it does reduce. You don't have to fully reduce the whole thing. You just want enough that it's not as liquidy. I'm doing a quick check on my meatballs here. As you can see, they are shaping up really nicely, and I'm taking that temperature. My life changed when I bought a meat thermometer, honestly. I never have to play guessing game anymore with chicken. I can just poke it and see if it's cooked or not. I've lost too many gambles of checking if meat isn't cooked, so I just finally bought one. Once you see that sauce is nice and reduced, you're going to add 2 cans of coconut milk. I went to the Asian store and bought coconut milk, but you should be able to find coconut milk now in your local grocery store. Then you're going to add, this is the best ingredient of the entire dish, it's fish sauce. In Filipino, we call this patis, and it is our secret ingredient. I'm using Red Boat, which is a Vietnamese patis. But if you have Filipino patis, you can use that too. Oh, I added about 1/4 cup of it. If you want it thicker though, like me, I added a little bit of heavy cream, probably about a 1/4 cup. What other people do is they'll make a slurry with cornstarch and water, but I was like, well, I can afford to have a little fat in my meal, so I'll just add heavy cream. And obviously it just makes it so much more richer. Now I'm adding the meatballs into the coconut sauce, stirring that in. I added a little bit of green onion to kind of just help give a little extra flavor to the dish, just a little onion flavor to really pop out. So I saved the greens of the green onion to top, and then the whites of the green onion to actually mix into the sauce. So you get your bowl of white rice, put 3 meatballs on top, sprinkle some green onion, and you have the Thai Coconut Meatballs from Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Aloha, mahalo, and all that. So here is the Thai Coconut Meatballs from Captain Cook's. I have my Spindrift with me. Not sponsored, but if you would like to Spindrift, I'm right here. Here we go. Oh, big bite.
I've always said the most attractive thing is watching you eat.
This is the first time I'm recording with a live studio audience. It's good. The sauce is really good. Obviously, that's like the best part. That's what I remember. The meatballs do have that kick. It do have that kick from the chili garlic sauce. Should have put salt in it. I didn't think, because I was like, well, the sauce will probably be like super salty because of the fish sauce. But no, the meatballs could have used salt and pepper. But I will amend the recipe for next time. I was trying to figure out like what that signature flavor is, and it really is the coconut milk with the sugar, the brown sugar, which it was, I just never would think to put those together. And I guess I never realized it was tomatoes. I don't know, I guess I never looked at it as in-depth as I did today. If you have a recipe that you want me to recreate from any of the theme parks, please let me know, and we'll whip them up. Bon appetit. Bon app the teeth.
Stop eating big bites.
How big do they need to be? Okay. Bon appetit.
Skinny bite.
Skinny bite. I made you a bowl right here. Don't get married. Bye. Thanks for watching this episode of Food Rocks. We release content every week. on Fridays, so make sure you subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to them, or you can follow us on Instagram or subscribe to us on YouTube. You'll be getting something fresh and new every Friday. Thanks for listening. This is RJ. Aloha. I'm saying aloha as the goodbye form, not the hello form. This has been a podcast on Not a Bit Network. Find us on Instagram at Not a Bit Network for our other shows.